Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Karaniya Metta kusalena yantam santam padam abhisamicca sakkojuca sujuca suvaco chassa mudu anatimani. Venerable Chief Naikahandro, Venerable Sirs, friends and children in the Dhamma, welcome for our Saturday Dhamma talk. Now for 2 weeks, we have been continuously explaining the Dhamma hidden in the Sutta called Karaniya Metta Sutta. So today we continue from where we stopped in the last week. Last week we explained the first 2 lines of the Sutta. Karaniyam atta kusalena yantam santam padam abhisamicca. To realize yourself, abhisamicca, tam santam padam, that state of serenity, that state of peace. Karaniyam atta kusalena. Karaniyam should be done atta for your own well-being, matters for your own well-being. Atta kusalena, with your own skills, with your own abilities. So with your own abilities, you should do the things which are beneficial to you for the sake of your own realization on the state of serenity. Santam padam, state of serenity, state of peace. This is an umbrella term. Any kind of peaceful state can be explained with these 2 terms, santam padam. But in the Buddha's concept or Buddha's thinking is always, for him, the actual state of serenity is Nibbana, nothing else, nothing prior to that, nothing earlier to that. Now, if we look at it briefly, there is a great meaning behind it. When Bodhisattva, the unenlightened Bodhisattva, Prince Siddhartha, when he renounced the household life, he went to the forest looking for the masters who were practicing for the realization, who were practicing for their Nibbana. Buddhahood was not something for self-realization for him in the beginning. He thought by following the master he can come to that realization, to that state of serenity, permanent state of serenity. But in his search from master to master in the forest, what he understood was nobody has found the permanent state of serenity. All who were in search of this state of serenity had found temporary, not long-lasting, impermanent type of state of serenity. The serenity they have found, the peaceful state they have found, was not permanent. Why? They have found their peace by suppressing the defilements, by controlling the defilements and practicing something called the concentration. Concentration, in other words, samadhi, or the meditation of serenity, samatha bhavana, has no function of removing the defilements. Concentration just suppress the defilements or forget the defilements. It suppresses the defilements, and there is a temporary serenity or peacefulness in the mind due to that suppression. But what Bodhisattva found was, once the suppression is gone, those defilements come onto the surface again and disturb that person completely. His serenity, his peacefulness is gone once the defilements started coming onto the surface. So this temporary, evanescent, impermanent serenity or the peace was not in the Buddhas or in the Bodhisattvas' goal. He wanted to find the permanent peace within him. So for that, he found that no master at that time know the path for that permanent peace within him. He had to find a completely novel path. He had to discover a path for that peace. And he discovered that path, and it is said vipassana, insight. This vipassana, this insight, is leading for the removal of defilements. When the concentration is leading for the suppression of defilements, vipassana is leading for the removal of the defilements. So the peace is permanent because there is nothing against within him anymore. There is no pleasures, cancers, defilements to surface anymore. So this permanent, everlasting, eternal peace is represented by the term Santam Padam. Now these two lines expresses the purpose of the sutta. This sutta is teaching for one to realize the method of realizing Santam Padam, state of serenity or peace. And what the audience or what the followers of the Buddha should cultivate to attain that state of peace. So our purpose is to explain them one by one. The first one, Sakko. Sakko ujocha sojocha swachocha samuru anatimani. Now these qualities are very important to create the necessary mental background in a practitioner who wishes his own well-being, so that one day he can attain to that state of peace. Sakko, ability or capability or cleverness. Sakko has two meanings: being clever or being capable. Being clever, people understand when there is a problem, they understand the cause of the problem. That is the cleverness of that person. You are clever enough to understand the cause of the problem. But are you capable of putting some remedy or healing or removing that cause of the problem? That is your capability. So being clever is not just enough for the success. You can meditate. You can bring your mind to the concentration so fast. That is your being clever. But can you continue to practice? Can you continue to practice same time, same place, every day, in a selected period of time? Can you continue to practice? No matter how disturbed you are, because our mind is not just the same every day. Meditators know this. Today you practice, you find so peaceful. Your mind is getting calm, peaceful, quiet, concentrated very fast. But tomorrow will be completely different. Tomorrow your mind is completely in a different shape. It doesn't get into concentration at all. Then people become discouraged. People tend to give up. We beg your pardon and we ask you to remain a bit due to some technical errors. We will begin in a few minutes. Please be bear with us. So the Sakko, the goals of secular as well as supramundane, lokuttara. In the secular life, you must have so much of abilities because you are to deal with, cope with, and to be connected with so much of worldly affairs like political, social, economical. There are so much of issues to be solved in the day-to-day life in the secular world. The knowledge of those areas and the ability to deal with them is a necessity to balance your life. And on the other hand, in the non-secular life, of course, it is not so complicated as same as the secular life, but still you must be capable of continuing with no matter how much hardships you have to go through in the non-secular, in the supramundane life, still you have to continue. It is not being clever or capable for you to meditate in a place where there is no noise, completely quiet, completely without disturbances. You can meditate easily. But can you meditate in the marketplace when all the people around you making so much of noise? All what they are doing is against your meditation. And can you continue your meditation with all those obstacles? That is your capability. So Sakho is representing that capability to continue amidst of all the obstacles which arise against your practice, amidst of all those hostile conditions that arise to stop your practice. Can you continue your practice? That is the capability, and it is represented by the word Sakko. So in this sutta, the spiritual background behind your meditation, the first one is given by the Buddha is the capability to continue your practice. Because Buddha knows a meditator, when he starts his practice, every step there is an obstacle, within and without. Within his own defilements, starts fighting back. Because meditation is to put your mind in hunger. Meditation is to keep your hunger, your mind without food. Mind doesn't like it. And the mind will protest it. Mind will bring its defilements to the surface to fight for it. So internal enemies starts fighting against your meditation and also the external environment. Nobody understands your meditation. Nobody cares about your meditation. You are going against the worldly flow of life. You are going against the world. The people around you are not supportive to you, are not encouraging to you. They are not encouraging. They are rather into discouraging. So amidst all these hostile conditions within and without, You have to continue your practice, and that is your ability. That is your capability. That is your sakko. Then the next term is uju, uprightness, honesty. This uprightness within you is based upon your morality, your precepts, your integrity. This uprightness is very important because this uprightness minimizes your regrets. People who kill, people who steal, people who deceive, people who disturb others' families, and people who become drunk, and all the other misdeeds around these basic evil behaviors creates someone to harbor so much of regret in him. And when he starts practicing, these regrets starts coming onto the surface. And these regrets can be a great obstacle for that person. So the uprightness, honesty to be practiced. Uju represents the honesty of our words, verbal honesty and physical honesty. Verbal honesty is ensured with the precepts to avoid lying, slandering, harsh speech, and frivolous talk. If you remove these 4 types of verbal misdeeds, you will find actually you have nothing to talk. That's why Buddha says, Buddha's instruction for his students, Dhammiva kata. If you speak, speak Dhamma. Or else, Aryo tunhi bhavo. Maintain the noble silence. For a practitioner who is seriously into the practice of meditation, lesser he talk, better for the serenity, concentration of his mind. More the talk he do, more the talk he does, more will be the agitation, turbulence in his mind, because there is no device which is capable of disturbing your mind more than your own mouth. So the mouth must be controlled for the success of your meditation. Uprightness in your verbal deeds helpful for that purpose. Lesser the talks you have, lesser will be the breaking of those precepts of lying, slandering, harsh speech, and frivolous talk. And then the physical misdeeds, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Three physical misdeeds and 4 verbal misdeeds are to be avoided, are to be get rid of for the maintenance of honesty or the uprightness, uju, in our words and in our actions. So Uju, uprightness or honesty is the second vitality, second most important factor as a supportive spiritual background for one's meditation. Then comes the sujucha. It means perfectly upright. This perfection in the uprightness is decided by the uprightness of your mind. It is not so difficult to be upright verbally and physically. If you have a grit, if you have a determination not to break those precepts, not to be lying but to be truthful, never to take what is not given, never to gossip, you create this determination and practice for one day, and then next day again take the determination and practice for that day. No matter how hard it is, still you can adopt that principle and implant within yourself and become transformed by it. You will be physically and mentally upright within few months. You can borrow and adopt those virtues within you. Little by little, you will find you are transforming by them. But the mental uprightness, honesty in the mind, because mind can be very sinful. Though we stop in the scopes of verbal and physical, though we want to kill physically, we can stop. Though we want to say something bad in the mind, but still verbally can be terminated. In the verbal level, we can stop it. But it is happening in the mind. The mental uprightness. Mentally, you have to stop thinking about or creating thoughts of those negative words and negative actions. Thinking of them. Now, in the virtues of the Buddha, or the epithets we are given to the Buddha, one of the epithets is Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Arahang. There are so much of reasons are given for the fact, for the reason, or for the cause that we call Buddha Arahang. One of the foremost reason behind this Arahang is that he does not do any evil, even in secrecy. In secrecy. Now, what is this secrecy? When we do any evil physically or verbally, others can see it, others can hear it. So it is no more secret. Somebody will see it. But when it is happening in the mind, no one can see it. It is complete in secret. Buddha doesn't have any such kind of evil even happening within him in his mind. That's the idea. That is the idea behind the epithet Araham. He who doesn't commit evil even in his consciousness. Hence we call him Araham. That is the goal. To reach that goal of Araham, we have to develop this sujucha, uprightness, perfect uprightness, or honesty in the mind. Honesty in the mind. Uju represents honesty in the verbal and physical levels. Sujucha represents the honesty in the mind, uprightness in the mind. Yeah. This uprightness leads for transparency. Buddha says, I am a person who does what I say. I am a person who says what I do. Yatha vadi tata kari, tata vadi yatha kari. What he says, he does. What he does, he says. And he invited his followers, you can check, you can investigate me. Whether I am saying what I am doing or whether I am doing what I am saying, you can investigate. Who can invite others to do such an inspection other than the Buddha? Who can do? Who can make such an invitation to others? Come and inspect me, whether I do what I say. A person who has nothing to hide, who is completely pure, who is absolutely honest and upright, can say such a thing to another. If a wife can be completely upright and honest towards the husband, it is the same. Uju is there, that uprightness is there. And on the other hand, if the husband is completely and absolutely honest and upright towards the wife, there won't be any clash between them. So it is something you can practice at home also. And also between your children, parents and the children, maintaining that honesty. Parents never deceive children. Children have the complete trust on the parents, their honesty, that they never deceive us. And on the other hand, the children towards the parents. Even at home, you can maintain this uprightness. Ability to look at another person in the eye and talk. That is uprightness. You have nothing to hide. People who have something to hide cannot look at others in the eye and talk to that person. Uju and Suju. Uju, uprightness, honesty in the verbal and physical deeds. Sujucha, literally perfectly upright, perfectly honest. The implied meaning is he is honest within, he is upright in his mind. He has no evil in his mind. Sakko uju suju. Sakko, make sure you do not stop your practice, your meditation, in spite of hundreds or thousands of obstacles arise. Uju and suju, make sure your discipline on the preserving of the precepts and also maintaining your honesty and uprightness. Swacho. Vacho is talking. Su means good. Literally it means good talk. But it doesn't have, it doesn't give the implied meaning is different to this literal meaning. That means somebody can talk to you. You are a listener. You are not a rejecter. You are a person who accepts the advices given by Kalyana Metta, a noble friend. A noble friend is somebody who wish your well-being, your future well-being. That person will never humiliate you in public. When you have errors, he will not talk about your errors with others, but he will take you aside and tell you to your face, you have this mistake, this weakness, this error, you better correct it. That person is the one who wish your well-being, not your destruction. That is a Kalyana Mitta, that is a good friend, noble friend. That is a friend you must never ever let go. Buddha says, I am a good friend to you. My enlightened disciples are good friends of yours. Listen to them. They are showing you, pointing you, directing you towards gold, towards gem. Listen to them. You will reach to that goal of gem, gold. Suacho, the one who doesn't listen to a good advice, is an idiot. One who looked down upon the advisor, one who laughed at the advice, can never be corrected. So a practitioner, a meditator, must develop this virtue of understanding when somebody points your weakness as your weakness and accept it as your weakness and accept the guidelines to get rid of that weakness. That is a Pandita, a wise person. A wise person is not the one who doesn't make mistake. The wise person is the one who understands his mistakes when it is pointed out by somebody else, and who put an effort to get rid of that mistake, get rid of that weakness. That is a wise person. Be a wise person, be a suacho, be a person who can be advised. Suacho, a person who can be advised. Humble person. Then comes the mutu, gentle person. Gentleness. Now we usually in assemblies, people address ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen. What is this gentleness? Gentle in words and gentle in action. Not haughty, not proud, not egoistic, but being gentle. No harsh words, no rough words. Who likes rough word? Nobody likes rough word, harsh words. And what can you gain with the harsh words? Nothing. But you can lose many things with the harsh words. Mouth is used for two things. Put in, put out. Put in the food and drinks. We eat, we drink. We have to be mindful what we eat and what we drink. For what? Because what we put in can make us sick, can make us unhealthy. Whether what we eat can be digested or not, whether they become allergic or not, whether we are allergy to those food or not, whether this food will make me sick with diabetics, with cholesterol, with any other unwholesome contents within it. These are the things we have to be mindful when we are eating or drinking, when we are putting in. In the same manner, we have to be mindful what we are putting out, our words. Because what we say, we may forget, but others will remember. Others will not forget what we say. And what we say can torture them, can harm them. Buddha says, when you are born with an axe which is in your tongue. Harsh words are like an axe. This axe can cut others, break others, and that axe can break you too. You have to tame this axe. Being gentle, no matter how angry we become. We mustn't let that anger to control us, to overtake us, to dominate us. If the anger dominated us, then we open our garbage to the world. Others see what kind of garbage this person is carrying within. Now he is angry. He is putting out that garbage with the words. Others can see that. And in the same manner, when others put garbage out, we must be mindful not to do the same. That is the time we have to be patient, we have to be mindful of ourselves. Without letting others throw off garbage, to provoke us to throw our garbage. Mudu, the gentleness to be maintained in our words and in our actions. Why? Again, it is important for a community who is practicing together not to create any bitterness in others, and not to create regrets within him or herself. So never put out words that you may have to regret later. Why did I say that? I shouldn't have said that. I am so ashamed of my words now. Such regrets are harmful. So to create such regrets, don't use your words. Use gentle words. You will never regret. Harsh words, always a cause for regretting. And always a cause for somebody to hurt. A cause for creating enemies. A cause for destroying others' lives. So also the gentleness in the action. So gentleness, mudu, in words and in action are the meaning in this term mudu. The last one is anatimani. Now you may have heard these words, seyyamana. It is the superiority complex, as Sigmund Freud said. Yeah. Superiority complex, that everybody is below me. I am the one who know everything, the one who can everything. I am the man. Others are just nothing. Superiority complex is represented by this seyyamana. Another word is atimana for superiority complex. Seyyamana, atimana. The middle one is sadisamana. Everybody is same. Yeah. This is also bad. When everybody is same, nobody can become enlightened. Nobody can develop. Everybody is same. Between birth and death, under this vast sky, everybody is same. The third one is hinamana. That is inferiority complex. You feel always that you cannot do, others can do. There's a great explanation behind this, but just on the surface level. So none of these things, none of these manas, what is mana? Measurement. This thinking, superiority, inferiority, and also this sadisamana, to think everybody as same, all based on others, measurements related to others. It is to see always about others, not to about yourself. Such a person who always make decisions based on others is not a happy person, is not a contented person, is not a person who is satisfied with what we have, what he has and what he can. Is a person who is always depressed. Because the one who thinks that he is the best one will find that somebody is doing better than him. Likewise the rest. So, seyyamana, sadisamana, hinamana. These are unwholesome measurements. If you can minimize these measurements, not destroying, because even after you become an anagami, non-returner, the third stage of the Subramanian path, still you have the mana, the conceit is there, the measurement, the conceit is still there. Only the arahants are devoid of all these type of seyyamana, sadisamana, hinamana, so they are called the Arahants are called Nihattamana. Nihata, destroyed mana, conceit. Ones who have destroyed the conceit are the Aryas or the Arahants. But here the term is Anatimani. That means he has no this conceit too much. His conceit, his mana is less. Because this is the beginner of the practice, beginner of the spirituality. He has to maintain a humbleness within him. Still he has the conceit. He's just a beginner. But for a beginner, if he is maintaining a great conceit within him, how can he be advised? How can he be directed to the path of the Nibbana? So he has to be humble. That humbleness is represented by the term Anatimani. So I explained these 5 types of conceits: Sayyamana or Atimana, famously known as the superiority complex. Then the Sadisamana, that to think everybody is same. Then comes the Heenamana, represented by this inferiority complex. Look down upon yourself. Then comes the Anatimana, humbleness, suppressed kind of arrogance, ego is there, Anatimana. Then comes the Nihattamana, destroyed conceit, who can be only be applied are the ones who Arahants. Arahants are the only ones to whom we can apply this word, this term Nihattamana, destroyed conceit. So today we completed our first verse. Today my purpose was to explain to you these 6 kind of virtues one has to cultivate as he start practicing. They are the Sakko, Ujucha, Sujucha. Ability, uprightness and perfect uprightness. Now, when somebody is practicing these 3, his ego can be developed. So this ego or the pride to bring down, he has to practice Suvacho, Uju, Suvacho, Mudu, Anatimani. Suvacho is to be advised easily, to make oneself liable to the advisors, to become such a person who can be advised easily. Suvacho, Mudu, gentle, and Anatimani, humble. So these triple qualities help somebody to be humble, to be easily guided. Because the first 3 qualities can make somebody arrogant, proud, and egoistic. Sakko, Uju, Suju. So these are the Dhamma I thought of explaining today. So let's share this Dhamma together with our departed ones and the deities. Let's share all these merits for their benefit first. Idamme ñātinam hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo Idamme ñātinam hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idamme ñātinam hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu loka sasanang. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasatta ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mam paranti. Every week on Saturdays we continue this program under the guidance and advices of our Nayaka Hamduru. Even during this pandemic times, we did not stop providing our Dhamma service to our devotees as well as to all the rest of the people. Yeah, the temple is open. You can come and pay respect to Lord Buddha, and many people, Caucasians, Indians, and other, even non-Buddhists, they come and pay respect to the Buddha and generate wholesome, meritorious energy within them. So during these times, it is so important to create such wholesome thoughts within us, to empower us, to protect us. So every Saturday we are continuing this talk. Please join with us 6 o'clock and generate merits within you by participating with these activities. Blessing for you. Sabbityo vivajjantu sabbarogo vinassatu mate bhavatvantarayo sukhi digayuko bhavatu sabba mangalam rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sotti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu.